Almost 1 month. 30 long, painful days. And still, no sign of Nancy Guthrie. A quiet neighborhood. Peaceful night. Nothing unusual. Nothing alarming. And yet somewhere between midnight and sunrise, Nancy vanished from her own home. No confirmed struggle. No public signs of forced entry. Just questions. Endless questions. And now a new piece of footage has surfaced. At 2:30 in the morning, a car is seen driving slowly down a dark residential street. The video, captured by a Ring camera, shows nothing dramatic at first glance. No flashing lights. No sudden stops. Just a vehicle moving through the night. But the timing, that's what makes it unsettling. Because that was the same night Nancy disappeared. The street where the car was recorded is about 2.5 miles from Nancy's house. Just outside the 2-mile perimeter, investigators had asked neighbors to search for surveillance footage. That small detail has left many wondering. Was that distance intentional? Did someone think staying just beyond the requested radius would avoid attention? Authorities have acknowledged the video. They know about the car. But they haven't confirmed whether it's connected to the case. And that uncertainty is what keeps this story alive. Nearly a month later, investigators are still combing through surveillance footage from around Nancy's home. Thousands of hours. Every frame watched in real time. That means no shortcuts. No skipping ahead. Agents carefully reviewing each passing car. Every pedestrian. Every flicker of movement in the darkness. Some viewers have asked, how is it possible that someone could enter a home and take a person without leaving clear answers behind? That may be the most haunting part of all. Reporters have repeatedly asked the sheriff how the suspect got inside. Was the door unlocked? Was there forced entry? Did someone have a key? Each time, the response has been careful, controlled, limited. He won't say whether it was forced entry. He won't say whether it wasn't. He won't discuss his suspicions. And while transparency is important, law enforcement often protects certain details. As the sheriff explained, being transparent doesn't mean opening the entire investigation to the public. Some information must stay sealed, especially if it could prevent a suspect from knowing what investigators already understand. Still, the silence fuels speculation. Another question viewers keep asking: was there blood inside the home? Authorities won't say. Was unknown mixed DNA found on the property? They won't explain where. Have other items besides Nancy been taken? Again, no answer. Investigators are trying to piece together a puzzle where some of the most important pieces remain hidden from public view. Recently, the home was returned to the Guthrie family. For some, that raised concerns. Does that mean the investigation is slowing down? Does it mean they've run out of leads? Former federal agents say no. Returning a property is often part of the standard process once investigators believe they've collected every possible piece of evidence. Every fiber, every fingerprint, every DNA sample, every trace. It can mean they've exhausted the physical search of the home itself, not that they've exhausted the case. And make no mistake, this case is still very active. There are still scores of agents working it. Many boots on the ground in Tucson. Others analyzing intelligence from the FBI field office in Phoenix. Officials say relocating some agents doesn't signal retreat. It allows investigators to hunker down, analyze data, and go through the overwhelming amount of digital evidence collected. Thousands of hours of video, hundreds of tips. Every single one has to be reviewed. Since Savannah, Nancy's daughter, made an emotional public plea and announced a $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy's recovery, tips have flooded in. Hundreds of calls, emails, messages, some likely false leads, some misunderstandings. But investigators cannot afford to ignore any of them, because somewhere within those tips, there could be the one detail that changes everything. Savannah's voice cracked as she asked for help bringing her mother home. It wasn't just a press conference. It was a daughter pleading for answers, for closure, for hope. Someone out there knows something. Those words have echoed through the community. Neighbors have checked their cameras again. Some have gone back to footage they originally thought was meaningless. A car that seemed out of place. A light turning on unexpectedly. A shadow at the end of a driveway. That's the thing about cases like this. Sometimes the smallest detail, something barely noticeable, becomes the key. And that 2:30 a.m. car, it lingers in people's minds. Was it unrelated? Just someone driving home late? Or was it part of something bigger? Viewers watching from home have pointed out that at 2:30 in the morning, traffic is usually minimal in residential neighborhoods. A vehicle at that hour stands out, especially if there were multiple cars seen around the same time. Investigators have not publicly labeled it suspicious, but they haven't dismissed it either. Almost a month has passed since Nancy was sitting at home, since life felt normal, since her family expected another ordinary day. Now every sunrise is another reminder she hasn't returned. The emotional toll is visible, not just on her family, but on the community that continues to follow the case closely. Messages of support pour in daily. Prayers, encouragement, hope that Nancy will be found safe. And yet, as time moves forward, the questions grow heavier. If this was random, why Nancy? If it wasn't random, who knew enough to get close? If there was no sign of forced entry, what does that mean? Investigators may already have theories. They may be narrowing down possibilities behind closed doors. But publicly, the silence remains. What we do know is this: the FBI is watching every piece of footage in real time. Agents are analyzing digital trails. Tips continue to come in. And the reward still stands. $1 million for the truth. That kind of incentive can shake loose information. Sometimes it pushes someone who's been silent to finally speak. Sometimes it makes a bystander rethink something they saw but dismissed. Because in cases like this, someone almost always knows more than they're saying. As the days stretch into weeks, one reality is impossible to ignore. This case is not forgotten. Not by investigators. Not by viewers. Not by the family.